Plotting a story the right way might at first seem like a daunting and impossible task, but I'm here to show you how you can plot a story correctly based on your writing style. Are you ready? Let's get started. So first, you have to find out what your writing style is, which is actually pretty easy. Do you prefer to structure your story like a skilled architect, or do you prefer to go with the flow like a gardener planting flowers? I tend to lean more towards the gardener writing style, but a little bit of structure helps me out a lot. Architect writers are really good at writing a clear beginning, middle, and end, and they don't typically have useless scenes that don't relate to the plot, but they also sometimes try to fit their characters into their plot, even if it's out of character or the characters have little or no personality and no character arcs. They also can make a story that feels like a slideshow, or the story feels like telling us just what happened instead of us getting invested into the story. This usually happens when the writer sticks a bit too strictly to the outline and doesn't explain why the plot matters to the characters, or the characters just feel like robots. If you are an architect writer that struggles with writing characters, then I suggest you plot your story as you normally would, but explain why the plot points, like the inciting incident, matter to the character on a deep personal level, and leave out some parts of your outline, preferably scenes that center around the characters talking and the like. Then when you go to write, you can try writing those scenes organically, like you have the main plot all figured out, but you don't know whether or not these two characters could get together. I hope that this helps out some architect writer that struggles with writing characters, but clearly I'm not an architect writer. This is just what I think would help. Next up are the gardener writers. The writers that kind of go with the flow. Unlike the architect writers, the gardener writer has amazing characterization, and they have characters that feel real by letting the story just kind of go with the flow. But their stories tend to not have a clear beginning, middle, and end, and the story can just drag on and on and on, and they can also end up writing themselves into a corner. And when a gardener writer has basically written themselves into a corner, they will need to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite again. So if you're a gardener writing, struggling with this problem, then my advice to you is basically write not a story outline, but basically what the main plot is. You could even write it in just a couple sentences, the inciting incident is when character A does this, and then maybe if let's say you're writing a romance, so character A meets character B, and then they basically start with the romance, and then there's this giant problem that appears, whatever that problem may be, and then the last fourth sentence or whatever can be how they resolve it, but you don't know how they figured it out. You just know what the solution is. You could write character A has always wanted to be a blank, but blank is stopping them. But then one day, blank happens that changes everything, and they go on an epic adventure where by the end they face their fears and achieve victory. And you can basically figure out what blank is, and also the important things that happen in between. You could also just write that out as you want to. Basically what I've said is just write whatever makes you feel comfortable. I hope that helped you, and you do not need to be ashamed of whatever your writing style is. It's just that you notice your weaknesses and that you can improve on them. And once you basically improve on your weaknesses and your writing style, that's how you basically improve your writing. So, yeah.